Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for passing by. Thank you so much for subscribing and thank you very much for watching my videos. You are greatly appreciated. The time is extremely warm. I'm just coming from my little work where I'm trying to told you guys that I'm trying to build a shop and stuff like that. And so yeah, I was asking kind persons out there if they could assist me, taking contributions and stuff like that. So it's extremely hot and, just chilling like Bob Dylan now, resting after a shower, and I'm still hot. However, there are some things that are brewing on social media that I am going to speak on. I'm going to attack. Not the individuals, actually, the topic. And it's about relationship. Relationship. So many persons have been breaking up. So many persons are going through a rough patch. And at this time, it's never easy on anyone. Whether they're guilty of something, whether they're the victim of something, it's not easy going through a breakup. Sometimes, yes, it's a relief based on the stress and whatever it is that you were going through during the relationship. And so you would feel relief that it's over at times. However, the procedure still not good, because at the end of the day, you went in hoping that something would last, right? I'm talking about persons who are in a serious relationship, not a person who are shacking up or just hooking up for a good moment or for the spur of the moment, or you're in heat for each other. I'm talking about an actual relationship here, like marriage. And speaking of marriage, we have The Official. The Official is known on Instagram and also over on TikTok. She's known to do her live and do some sort of promotions all the time and stuff like that. And she's rather loud and vulgar, but she has a quirky side to her also. And she's always talking about her relationship and always talking about her marriage and her husband and all these type of things, because she would have made herself known before she got married. And so she would always speak on her situation and things that she was going through, whether it be a rough moment, whether it be a good moment, a violent moment that we have seen. She have always been vocal. These people love social media. They live for the public eye and for the public to be in their business, and that's how a lot of them, they get paid rather than going to a 9 to 5. They have the informal ways that they do their thing and they get paid, similar to me vlogging and stuff like that, except I'm not getting paid. I will get donors, you understand, and I appreciate them, but I don't get paid. However, in the situation we see wherein she's going through a divorce with her husband, or estranged husband, that is, and it's been rough. She's speaking a lot of things about him cheating on her. He was having a threesome with her best friend, doing a lot of things. She invited the friend over once, and she was intimate with him, and her husband, that is, and the friend overheard and told the husband that he should come and have sex with her after, and all these type of things. And it's like she's just learning about a lot of things, and it's unraveling, and she's crying and she's speaking out and saying that the guy betrayed her, and a lot of things that when she met she had an accident. She lent her husband the vehicle and there was an accident, and the person was wrong, and it's like she wanted to surcharge the amount that it would cost. And she discussed it with her husband, and during an argument he contacted the person and let them know that his wife was actually trying to rob her, and all these type of things. That is, just so many strange things that she's speaking on. It's very confusing, very disturbing for a couple. It's like there was no trust. There was actually betrayal that was taking place, continuous betrayal, that is, within her marriage. And it's a sad situation that it's coming to an end. It's also a sad situation when certain people decide to go into marriage and corrupt the entire sanctity of it. And that's the reason I have absolutely no interest in marrying. I wanted to. I've been, as a person who was engaged twice, I have absolutely no desire, because when I look at the type of persons who have an interest in doing so, these are people who aren't serious about life. They aren't serious about relationship. They want to be married and get the perks that marriage come with, but they want to live the same way like a person who is single. And so they do not respect their partner. They do not respect marriage. And because of that, I stay the hell away from it. And I'm also not going to shack up with any individual giving them husband treatment when they're actually a lover or just a boyfriend for pleasure, or there for whatever reason. You understand me? Unless there's some sort of agreement that we both come to that has to do with some sort of exchange, then we'll have some legalities behind it also. That's the only way. Otherwise, from that, I'm not going into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship with anybody having any form of permanence, and there is nothing to solidify it. There's no legalities that, you know, merge both of us together to have that sense of permanence. You understand? But with that being said, the entire sanctity of marriage has been corrupted. So we have to, you know, speak on it for what it is. And one of the problems that Dee doesn't seem to realize that she's having is the constant need to share your business with a group of complete strangers on the internet. You understand? And people don't get it. I don't know if there's a some sort of potency in whatever it is that they're digesting or ingesting. You understand? That makes them believe that social media is a place of solace, that they can come and just spill whatever it is that they're going through, and people will automatically be in support of you. You're weaponizing the public, honey. People are sorry for you that moment. That moment when they see you crying, majority will be sorry for you at that time. Tomorrow, it's something else. Those persons will use whatever it is that you said as a weapon to attack you. And you will feel actually worse than how you feel now, or how you are feeling now. I always caution people to stay off social media. If you want to speak with someone, there are people out there that are available. I do counseling also. There are people who are available for that purpose. Social media is not a place of solace. It's not a place of comfort. It's not a relaxed therapeutic era. Yes, there are 1 and 2 pages or accounts that will assist, but by scrolling, you just feel worse because of the other things that you will see that remind you of a terrible situation that you are in, that you have dealing with. And so I always advise people to stay off social media and be careful of the space that they're going into and what the information that they're divulging to the public. Dee has been doing this constantly, and it has made situation worse for her than better. Also, you are married. You don't need to inform the public every fine detail about your marriage. You constantly talk about your husband penis size and how big it is, and I mean, you're rather vulgar. You give out raw information about yourself. You understand me? And talking about your vagina swollen and all this type of thing. People don't need. Who am I to you? Who is anyone to you out there? That's not a relative, and your relative don't need to know this either. Your relative don't need to know this. And you're giving out all these fine, intimate detail about your husband, girl. What do you expect is going to happen? Persons are going to want to know what it feels like. They're going to be inviting when it comes to your partner, your husband. So if you don't, obviously you did not respect your marriage either. You're speaking on him betraying you, and he's cheating on you, and he was disrespecting you, and you were doing the same thing, not because he may be okay with it. At the end of the day, we're talking about marriage, not because the person is okay with something means that yes, you should go ahead and do it simply because they are okay. There's something called right and wrong, and this is the thing that I always speak on when it comes to the Black community. It's such an unfortunate situation. They don't know if they're going left or right. They don't know which angle they're going. They don't know if they're going up or down. That's how it is. They don't know if they're going left or right. They don't know if they're going in or out. You understand me? You notice what I do? My hand gestures are different from what I'm saying. That's what the Black community is doing. You can't come on the internet and give out this type of information about yourself, about your bedroom business with your husband, and believe that women are just going to sit and laugh. They're going to be inviting. They're going to want your man. The same way men see you attractive, women are going to find your partner attractive because they are aware via you what he has in his pants. And if you respect your marriage and respect your husband, you would never have done that. Bad enough, he disrespect his marriage. So if he's cheating, that's not a relationship, that's an endship or something going up to endship. But you speaking on it is actually green lighting him to do a lot of things. That's why he was laughing when we were speaking on it. Because he knew what he was doing. See, men are not stupid. We might think as women that men are stupid. And yeah, they are when they want to be. And there are things that they are unaware of that they constantly do. Because that's how the black male pathology works. But in hindsight, when it comes to cheating, when it comes to being deceptive, they know exactly what they are doing. They know exactly what they are doing. There is always an intent to do something. And so when they do it and they are caught, they will remind you that this is what you did that prompted me to do this and to do that. So these are things that you have to look into. There are also some people who are never meant to be together. That's also a thing. It may sound great that you love each other, but with the universe, it's like you guys were like, you never meant to be. Like a scaling triangle. One is 60, one is 45, and one is whatever it is that makes up 120. You understand me? It just doesn't work. You guys are bumping heads. You guys are bumping heads. Relationship is simply not for everybody. Commitment is not for everybody. People can't commit. The guy is giving out information and he's selling you out and he's saying all these things, and you are the one that is bringing it to social media to let the public know, because you're on a smear campaign, not realizing that you're smearing yourself also. And you're a mother. You have a lot going on for you. You need counseling. You need help to move on. It's not going to make situation better for you coming to social media, because there's only so much we can say. I'm not going to help you to smear him. I'm not, because you knew who he was before you marry him. It's not like you didn't and you bear children with him before marrying him. So you knew. The guy, you are coming on the internet and talking about him constantly, saying that your PUSSY is big. And so you are giving this information. You're very, uncouth. You lack decorum and grace. You don't need to be telling the public that. That is something that is supposed to be discussed in privacy between you and the counselor. What the hell does a person in Tivoli, in Beverly Hills, in Clarendon, in Westmoreland, in Hanover, in Portland, in St. James have to do with that situation that you're going through with you and your husband? That's supposed to be personal information that you're discussing. It's unfortunate that we live in a shameless society and we just believe that once it's okay or once we feel like it, just do it. The feel like notion we need to get out of and use intelligence to know right from wrong. Not because it feels good. You should always go ahead and do it. You are saying these type of things to make the guy look bad, but you're making yourself look even worse. And you're speaking on something that was very profound. You said that you still love the girl. You still haven't spoken bad about her. Someone who cheated with your husband. Someone who betrayed you. You understand? You're bringing down your husband, yes, and you're saying this about him, but you're sparing the female. Inquiring minds are wondering if you were also intimate with her. You see what is going on? Instead of people showing you empathy, people want to know more about your business. Were you sleeping with that female? Why you failed to bring her down? Were you intimate with her? Were you doing things with her? Because people can't see why you're going at the guy. Yet the woman who betrayed you, who was your friend, is not just a random, complete stranger. This person is your friend, and the person betrayed you like that, having threesome with someone else, with your husband, and you're not going to say anything bad about her. You're only going to say what she did, and you still love her and you still care about her. It's saying two things. Either you really do not love yourself, you have a low self-esteem, pushing like you do have a high self-esteem, or you are actually intimate with this female and you don't want to come forward for more reasons than one. And hey, I'm not attacking you. People are free to do what they want to do in their private life, but guess what? You brought it to social media. It becomes our business. As I always say, if you want to dress up your wolf, your dog, and in your backyard, that's your business, and put lipstick on it. When you put that bitch in lipstick and frill and you put it on the road, parading it around, then everybody in the parade have seen it and it becomes everybody's business. You choose to put that on social media. There is something called self-respect. There's something called self-respect. In everything there is order. In everything there is what? Boundaries and limitation. Boundaries and limitation. There's a stop. There is a limit. There is a pause that you will do. That's how far you will go, because that's how much the public needs to hear and know, not more. You have to do better than that, this girl. You need some soul searching and you need counseling. Persons in your corner may not tell you, and social media sounds good because you gain traction, you make money off it over the years, you get endorsement, you can come and say as you please and you just don't care. Yes, no. And I always caution women that you can come on the internet and behave as vulgar as whatever and don't care and bubble your neck and do I don't give a damn and it's my business and it's that and that. But when you are alone and the four wall caving on you, you have that to deal with. You have it to deal with. The pain that you're going through, none of us can help you bear it. You will have to deal with it yourself. And you're making matters worse by coming on social media with this type of issue, especially when you're going in to find details about your bedroom, about your genital, your private part, about the man's private part, and all of that. We need not to hear it, girl. And you're saying that he's speaking on you and your mother because your mother left you when you were 2 months old, and he's always reminding you of it and all of that, especially when you guys are upset. When people are upset, they're going to say things. I'm sure you were saying insulting things to him, and so he would have insulted you also. You were also unalive and you were disrespecting his mother. I think she was the one that called you, according to you, and you were telling her some nasty things over the phone. Whether she was saying it to you, we did not hear. We heard you saying it to her. So you see how things can come back and bite you? So now you're saying that the guy spoke about it and tried to rub it in your face that you were abandoned by your mother when you were a baby. He's rubbing it in your face repeatedly to remind you. You have to remember that you disgraced and disrespected his mother unalive. And I always talk about being equally yoked. Fish and bird can mate, but where would they nest? Sometimes people just aren't meant to be. People are not compatible. I always speak about people finding their equal, and opposites do not attract. It's something that's internal attracting the external. Something external that is attracting the internal of the other person. It's not opposite. It took me years for me to realize that, you are actually attracting the same person like yourself. And I always said that while I was dating, I always say, why do I meet this type of person? They look like a Christian. Notice I have a lot of tattoos and I have a lot of piercings all over. You understand me? I always say, I meet guys and they look like Christian, they look like the son of a pastor, but when I get to know them, they're horribly individual, and I always say the same way a person see me looking one way and believe that I'm a raunchy, freaky, well out there type of individual, but when they get to know me, they realize that there's substance, there's decorum, there's poise and grace. It's the same way that I would meet a guy and believe that he is of substance, poise and grace, but when I get to know him, he's really a terrible individual. So it was like opposite, me being opposite, but my internal was attracting his external. His internal was attracting my external, and that's so you are actually attracting yourself. You are actually attracting yourself. Now, she not having a mother, unfortunately, should have met someone who did not have a mother also, because at that time they would really have a lot going for them and they would understand each other more. Possibly it's a trauma bonding situation, yes, and you don't want a trauma bonding relationship, but there's some sort of understanding that would have been there. Now going on to someone who has a mother, and that being opposite with you not having one, there's very little empathy the person is going to show. They will show it at first because they're on a mission to get something, you understand? And when getting it, especially someone young like that, drinking, smoking, doing all the things, informal things, shiftless people, they're known for their own selfish benefits. They're not known to be empathetic. They're not known to be understanding. Who has time for that? They move on an adrenaline rush all day, every day. And if you are like that, oh well, then you got something toxic that you are attracted to. Now with him being opposite to having a mother and you not having one, then he's going to always do these type of things when you get upset, because when you get upset, you're going to tell him about his mother. Right? You're not going to think twice. So guess what? He's going to do the same thing. You can't say that you didn't, because we saw it on the live. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to attack you. I'm just here to give you the harsh truth, because you come really harsh. So it's going to be very hard for someone to speak to you as mild as possible for you to have some sort of understanding. You're just not that individual. You're just not that individual. If someone comes to you mild, I've dealt with so many of these type of persons, especially women. If someone comes to you mild and is showing you something, you take it as something else. It's automatically interpreted as something else. And if you understand and care, you're looking for that angle where you can get an advantage over them. I've seen it all day, every day. You understand? I've seen it. I have seen it. I've been empathetic towards people who are going through a rough patch, especially women. And I've seen how the damage that they can do. That's why boundaries and limitations is always important. You understand? Boundaries and limitation is always important. So D, I'm really sorry that you're going through this, but a lot of your wounds are self-inflicted. A lot of your wounds are self-inflicted, and you will possibly continue to have self-inflicted wound until you get it right, until you get what you are doing. The road that you're on, you need to change that road. You need to change the road that you're on. And divorce is not going to make it any better, because if you divorce and you find a guy that is family oriented, that has a lot of love, have a lot of respect, is calm and peaceful, you're possibly going to ruin that guy, because your energy is topsy-turvy and his may be like a flat line. You understand me? And he possibly not going to want his peace to be disturbed. So if he come bearing gifts and trinkets and be calm and cool and collective, it's, you know, I'm not going to speak on the guy, your estranged husband, because he already made his bed with destruction. You understand me? Whether he has a mother or not, he already made his bed with destruction. So he has that to deal with. As soon as he gets his own soul searching and see himself for what he is, he most likely come and apologize. He most likely will do the right thing and, you know, find a way how he can communicate. Both of you find a way how you can communicate and learn to respect each other's space. Simply, even if you can't be together, especially when you have children that are involved. But that's enough that I will say on the official situation. Over to rapper Kevin Gates. I saw made a comment that he doesn't like how NBA star LeBron James, how his wife look at him. She doesn't look at him like she's desiring him. She look at him like, yeah, you're nothing to me, or you're just a nigger, or whatever the case may be. And he's saying that he rather how white women look at LeBron James. They look at him like, yeah, he's a god or he's a king, and stuff like that. And I'm sorry, I think people who are not in long-lasting relationship that are very long-term and committed, like marriage for many years and decades, need not to speak on people who are actually in it. And I said it with the Kirk and Rashida situation. You have no idea what it is like to be married for 20 years, 25 years. You simply cannot tell a person what they are going through. It's easy for you to stay outside and say, oh yeah, it's cheating. You need to leave. You need to hurry up and leave. First of all, people who are on social media, many times, especially when it comes to reality show, oftentimes it's scripted. Oftentimes they know these things off bat. Oftentimes people agree to certain things, no matter how strange it is to you. And you don't know. But let's say all things are equal and they don't agree to anything. You don't know what it's like to be married for such a long time. So Kevin Gates, who is a rapper who turned Muslim and used it as an excuse to practice whoredom, saying it's polygamy and all of that, has no business, all right, speaking on LeBron James, who is a married man. He chose to marry his high school sweetheart. She knows him all her life. She knows him like that. She has never disrespected the guy publicly. She has never done anything or step out of line as a woman, as a wife, and also as a mother. She is gorgeous. She conducts herself well. She dresses well. She looks good. She looks very appealing, and she still has her youthful feature. And I mean, it's good to age and age gracefully, yes, but she still has her youthful feature, and she's a very beautiful girl. What more do you want? What do you want her to do? See her husband and jump upon him and behaving in this loud, rambunctious way to appease who? She is comfortable in her space and he's comfortable with her. He puts her up there. He said he would never be who he is without Savannah. He loves and respect and adore his wife, that we know. So I'm not sure, why are you comparing a wife to groupies and prostitutes? They're going to see him because they see the dollar sign. They see that their life can change in a flash. If he cut them a check, their life can change in a flash. If they get pregnant for him, their life can change in a flash, because he's going to elevate them and make them live better, even if they're a single mother. That's what the white woman who admiring him see. Savannah see a husband and a father and a lover. So she's going to look at him with a lot of gain and say, yeah, this is my prize. This is what I made. This is what I helped to contribute to. And I'm here enjoying the moment with him. She is comfortable. I don't think that, it's utterly disrespectful, and I think he needs to apologize. You understand me? But these low-life people, they aren't going to come out and do it. And they believe that because they dropped one and two knowledge to a lot of ignorant people, they automatically believe that they're some sort of guru, and people are going to follow them to the end of the earth and not pick out their BS and their stupidity that they're constantly highlighting. You're a man who wrecked your relationship, and you're hunting through groupies and stuff like that to get where you want to go, to continuously be relevant on social media and stuff like that. James doesn't have to do that. Savannah certainly does not have to do that. You don't see her doing wild and crazy things trying to be relevant. No, she doesn't need to. You understand? There are levels to this, and she's on a different level. You will never find a woman that's on that level, because when you meet them, they're going to leave because they see you coming a mile away and know that your only goal is to ruin them. You understand? So you have no business speaking on Savannah. Absolutely none. But that's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy your day. May God bless you. Bye-bye.